Good evening, everyone. I'm Victoria Sprang, Executive Director here at the Lighthouse Foundation. Thank you so much for being here this evening, for logging on, for joining us for this first ever virtual gala event. As I'm sure many of us are aware of, this pandemic has put quite a damper on our fundraising events, our in-person things, and I'm extremely sorry we can't be face-to-face tonight, as celebrating 35 years is such a milestone, such a celebration. So we're just so excited and so thankful that you are here tonight with us and can enjoy this show, and we hope you do enjoy this show. I just would like to thank those that made it possible for this event to even happen. As a faith-based organization, we know that all good things come from God, come from above, and we are just so thankful for God's provision and direction and guidance in being able to host this virtual event. New territory, totally, it's a wild adventure, and I'm just so thankful for his grace, love, and mercy. So that's first and most importantly. And I would also like to take a moment to thank our sponsors who made this event possible before we dive in, just so we can know who played a part in making this possible, and just thank them very much. I'd like to start with thanking High Flight Academy, our presenting sponsor. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And there's one more thanks and a shout out I'd also like to give at the beginning of this virtual show, and that is to Jeremiah Bellis, who has the amazing talent and is blessed with the skills of technology to be able to put this together for us, to record, edit, bloopers, to do all of those things for us. And this pandemic and needing to transition virtually was something that would not have been possible without him or his skills, and it really was an opportunity for us as an organization to look at our weaknesses or areas where we could grow and make them stronger. And then there were areas where our strengths could shine, and we are extremely thankful for his strength that he has and how it is just shining through and allowing this to be possible. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to the Gala committee, who has put in hours and time and just putting baskets together, being the point of contact and calls. Thank you to those who are hosting a watch party, those that have opened up their home to their friends and families and hosting this party and allowing them to learn more about the Lighthouse Foundation and support who we are and what we do. So let me just dive right in to who we are and what we do. I hope that you all enjoyed that slideshow of the 35 years, celebrating 35 years, some really neat pictures in there and a really neat timeline of events. The mission of the Lighthouse Foundation is to encourage others to find hope in Christ by meeting their immediate needs and empowering them towards self-sufficiency. That is done in many different ways. We have our core ministries, and tonight we get to feature the food pantry ministry and our transitional housing ministries. The slideshow and information and things that you'll read will give you all the details of everything we do have and offer at the Lighthouse, including all of our faith and finance classes, our Jobs for Life. You'll see pictures of those events. But during this show, we will showcase our volunteer opportunities through those ministries, what the food pantry looks like, especially now during COVID, and we'll be able to dive into transitional housing. We have a special guest tonight, Kim Gable, who will be sitting down with our Lighthouse family and just getting to talk with them about who they are, how their lives have been impacted by the Lighthouse Foundation, and how your support made that possible. You are able to bid, donate, and buy raffle tickets during the entire show. Towards the end of the show at 7:25, there will be a last call and the bid and raffle will be closed. And we will have a display at the end of the show with those winners after we get to see the Celebrating 35 Years slideshow. Okay, let's get started. We are going to be watching Miss Kim Gable as she is speaking with our Lighthouse family. We are so honored and blessed to have Kim Gable here with us tonight, who will be speaking with some of our Lighthouse family members and sharing how the Lighthouse has impacted and changed their lives. So, Kim, thank you so much for being here. We're so blessed to have you, and we're really looking forward to having these interviews.
Thank you so much. You know how much I love storytelling and I love story listening, and listening to these stories tonight is going to be an honor for me. And you know, my heart is in nonprofits and you guys do just amazing work. So thank you so much for asking me.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
So we are here with the Riog family, and like I said, I just love listening to stories, especially stories that are so inspiring, and the growth and the hope and the healing that comes from places like Lighthouse. So first of all, introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, so this is my family. We live with Lighthouse. Is really amazing. I have 4 months with her. We have 4 months, and my husband and my young daughter have 2 months here. So we worked. We find work, and they go to school. We really try to do our best, and the Lighthouse helped us too much in this pandemic. Is hopeful. Is a lot of work to say about it.
And there's so much, and so much goes into that word hope. But if you can think of one thing or one story that you can share with us that was especially valuable for you during your time there at Lighthouse, what's one thing that it has given you to help your family for the future?
When I came here, the pandemic started, so it was so hard. I was like 2 or 3 months inside of the apartment. I can do nothing. So then, when the things go more relaxed, I I just start know everything about Boiler, more about Lighthouse. I do volunteer work here with them, and it's really special. Do work volunteer with them is so beautiful and nice. I really enjoy when I do volunteer. Right now, I don't do nothing because I work. I find work. My husband work. So yeah.
And tell me about the kids too. I mean, you're there as a family, and you heard about this while you were in Puerto Rico. Tell me about the children and their experiences there with Lighthouse.
When I arrived here, I just arrived with her first. She was with him on Puerto Rico because she studied there. But when I arrived with her, she really loved stay here. The change, she really loved. I don't know. In the house, we was on the house all the time, and she really loved. She don't put angry, done nothing. She just say, "Mommy, I love you. I don't go to Puerto Rico to do nothing right now. I love here." But really, we don't go anywhere. Just stay there. But she was happy with me there. When they come, she was sad because she have her friends. All her friends is there in Puerto Rico. But I start explaining her, you have to accept this opportunity. Your friend is there right now, but then they gone too. So you have to start learn something different in your life.
Well, we're so glad to have you here as part of our Pittsburgh family and part of the Lighthouse family as well. And we just know you're going to make so many more friends and so many more connections, mom, dad, and kids. So, you know, so many people support Lighthouse, and there's going to be a lot of new people watching your story as well. If there is one thing that you could say to all of those supporters and donors and maybe potential donors and supporters, what would you want them to know about Lighthouse and what they've done for your family and so many other families too?
Sí, muy buenos. Desde que yo llegué, todo el personal que he conocido me ha tratado bien. Very well. Todo es bueno, no hay nada.
Yeah, we don't have any complaint about
Yeah. The house
Lighthouse.
donde vivimos. Yeah, donde vivimos, una casa o apartamento extraordinario. De todo. Yeah, de todo. Bueno, vinimos con nuestras ropas, nuestras cosas personales. Todo.
One last question for you. Because of Lighthouse, because of what you've experienced there, where do you see you and your family maybe a year down the road? What plans do you have because of what they've offered you here?
Llevo 2 meses y yo lo veo extraordinario.
We expect to have our house, so we work for that. We save money with Lighthouse. They give us that precious moment to save money. So
That's so wonderful. Thank you for that inspiring story. And it was so nice to meet all of you. And we're glad that you're calling Lighthouse in Pittsburgh your home now. Thank you so much.
of course, thank you.
I had gotten kicked out of my mom's house and I was homeless, was living actually with a friend that I met in my time in recovery and trying to find somewhere to live for me and my daughter because I had nowhere to go. Since moving into the Lighthouse, I've been given so many opportunities. I've gained a lot of confidence in just helping take care of my daughter.
We are talking to Olivia now. And Olivia, there's been so much talk over the past few months about graduates and graduation. But you are a graduate in a much different way, having graduated from the program there at Lighthouse. Tell us what that means to have that title as a graduate and being independent and self-reliant now. Tell me about that process.
I was like super fearful about leaving the Lighthouse. I remember calling someone, I think literally the night before that I moved out, and just like bawling my eyes out. Super fearful. I had never been on my own. I have never like paid bills on my own or had a lease any apartment. I never actually thought that I would complete the Lighthouse program, because up until the Lighthouse, I mean, I had completed a couple things, but never like finished anything out. Looking kind of back and seeing everything that I had been given through the program, and just seeing also how much I'd grown through the process. So that was really cool.
So give us a little bit of your story. What brought you to the Lighthouse? How did you find the light at the Lighthouse, and a little bit about your experience that brought you to these programs?
So I am, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I celebrated 3 years, April 1st. So I had gotten sober, moved back to Butler, and 7 months sober, found myself pregnant with a little girl, and went through my pregnancy
Had my daughter. She actually just turned 2, so it's been like a crazy 2 years. And when she was 4 months old, it was like 4 days before Christmas of 2018. I found myself homeless. So that was scary. I was like very fearful of being a mom alone, let alone like being homeless and a mom. Thankfully, I had like a couple close friends that let me stay with them until I got into the lighthouse. And then even in the beginning of the lighthouse, I suffer from mental health on top of I was dealing with postpartum. So I think within like my first couple weeks at the lighthouse, I had found myself, I was just defeated. I had like no hope. I was convinced that my daughter would be better off without me, just not in a good state of mind. And took some time to like take care of myself, get my mental health in order. Got a job working at like a little cafe, and I love it. And I've held that job for about 18 months now since I moved into the lighthouse. And it's like the longest I've kept a job since I was 18. Had I not been given the chance at the lighthouse and gotten my mental health in order, because like for me it's kind of like I have to have like a balance of everything to keep my sobriety. And I don't think if I would have had those tools to help me, you know, stay sober and work on my recovery as well. And I don't know if I would be here today, to be completely honest with you. So I'm grateful, and I don't know. I don't even think I can express how grateful I am for the experience.
I completed Blanchard with the Lighthouse just last August. Since then, I am still in the same apartment, and I have maintained my recovery. And that's probably the biggest aspect of my life today that Lighthouse has given me, is all the tools to maintain that.
We are talking to Jamie now, and I absolutely love Jamie's story because Jamie, yours is really one of growth and evolution, and you've evolved so much because of what Lighthouse has done for you. So you were actually a previous resident, and now you hold the title of resident manager, right?
Yes.
So tell me how that all came about and what that means now for you.
Well, it came about basically because the whole time I was there, I knew when I left I wanted to somehow give back and volunteer. And I stayed in touch with my previous case manager, my previous resident manager, and some other people from the program. And my previous resident manager let me know when she was leaving and that they would be hiring. And I lived just 2 blocks away at the time. So I figured, yeah, definitely want to try for that, because anyone that's been through a program and then comes back to help out knows the difficulties and the struggles firsthand. Not that someone not doing it couldn't do it, but I just feel like knowing it and having been there yourself, it's, you know what someone else might be thinking even if they don't want to say it.
So tell me a little bit about your backstory now too. What brought you to Lighthouse, and what have you experienced there that's brought you to where you are today?
My addiction is what originally brought me to homelessness and to the doors of Lighthouse. I found Lighthouse through going to Catholic charities like most people, and just needing some kind of stability in my life. The first time I went, I did not successfully complete it, and I came back, I think 6 months to a year later, in a better position and a little more ready for the help, and let them know where I was and what I was doing and that I needed their help again. They re-accepted me, and I did great. I was, able to learn a lot at that time. And a year and a half later, I completed and moved 2 blocks away. And I really liked it because I would beep every time I was leaving for work, stuff like that. And I just stayed in touch with my case manager. That was really big for me. She went to all my court cases for custody for my daughter, which has meant a lot. And I can now call her a friend, and that means a lot to me.
Because of the stories that they're hearing, like yours, if you could say something to those people who have supported Lighthouse in the past and their mission, and people who might be looking for a place like Lighthouse to share their gifts with, what would you say to those people?
I think the most important thing is just how important the program is for the housing, especially, but all of Lighthouse that they do, because there's not a lot of programs that offer what they do. There's plenty of programs for addiction and plenty of programs for mental health, but they offer programs for just the general need, no matter why or how you got there. And that's not common anymore. Not a lot of places offer that. Lighthouse is something that offers to anyone and everyone that just has a need, regardless of why.
Before I came to the Lighthouse, I was living with my parents. I had just tried a solo act in recovery, and I was unsuccessful. I stopped working a recovery program. My mental health just became lazy with life, and I became depressed with life.
Hi, my name is Chuck Allen. I'd like to welcome you to the virtual gala and thank you all for being here. And I want to introduce you to Mike this evening. Mike has been one of our stars here at Johnny's Place. Johnny's Place has been open for 2 years. Mike was one of the first ones here, and it's almost time for Mike to go on to his next step. Mike has been a real asset to the house, and Mike's going to tell you a little bit about what it was like and what it's been like here and what he can take from here moving on to his next step. So I want to thank you all for being here. We could not do this without you. Lighthouse appreciates every single one of you, and we thank you. And here's Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm a resident here at Johnny's Place, going on my 2nd year of residency, living at Johnny's Place with my friend in recovery, Chuck, as my resident manager. During my time here in Butler, I've been allowed to regain my footing and my stability in a recovery program in the Lighthouse Foundation in Johnny's Place. and people like Chuck have allowed me to regain my footing and get on the right side of sobriety, through volunteer work, through recovery meetings and AA. I have a good feeling of where my life is going to be able to take itself now. I don't have to live, day to day worried about, my addiction is going to be what takes me out. It never gives me, a right to a meaningful life. I feel confident that through what I've learned here at Johnny's Place, I'll be able to take that step and be successful. And I'm looking forward. I'm finally looking forward to a lifestyle in sobriety through recovery that I have meaning and I have purpose, and I can leave for the day and be in the right state of mind and make a difference through the right way, not through drugs and alcohol addiction. I'm looking forward. I can't thank people enough here at the Lighthouse Foundation for giving me this opportunity. And I'm in a good place with myself, through working the recovery program here in Butler, that I'm ready to take the next step in life again and do it the way I was handed down in recovery through the Lighthouse people, through the good people here in Butler.
Wow. I admire their bravery and their willingness to share their stories with us and to be open and vulnerable, especially knowing that this event is virtual and they're sharing their experience with anybody who is wanting to log on and be part of what the Lighthouse is doing or learn more about the Lighthouse Foundation. So I'm just extremely thankful for each and every one of them. You have seen how the Lighthouse Foundation has impacted the lives of a few individuals and their families here through our transitional housing unit. And I just want you to know that every dollar that is raised during this event, this fundraiser, goes directly into providing that hope and changing the lives of those in our community. The Lighthouse Foundation, as a nonprofit Christian outreach ministry, relies heavily on fundraising and charitable donations for our main source of revenue throughout the year. Thank you for being a part of this virtual show. Thank you for sticking with us through this transition. And thank you for supporting us in a new platform and a new era so that the Lighthouse can continue to provide hope and change lives. Giving to something that has impacted your life may be a little bit easier than giving or supporting something that doesn't affect you and your lives, or maybe is not on your heart. So tonight, I just thank you for each and every dollar that's donated, that's given. I thank you that because of your giving, lives can be changed, hope is provided. God continues to use the Lighthouse Foundation after 35 years to continue to provide that hope and be that beacon of light in this community. What does your donation do? What does giving towards the Lighthouse Foundation help? What changes can we make? Every donation can help us provide food to a family in need. It can help us provide a safe, reliable place to live for a homeless family or individual, or those at risk of facing homelessness. Every dollar that's donated helps the Lighthouse Foundation provide emergency financial assistance to those in need, to those that might fall through the cracks and not apply or be eligible for other funding due to their circumstance or situation. Your donation allows us to continue to provide life skills training programs, job skills training, parenting classes. We're excited about an upcoming cooking class that we are partnering with Fishbone Ministries down in the city of Butler, where we will be able to cook and meal prep and have a little bit of financial education in with that as well, about the meals that you're prepping. How much did this food cost, or were you able to get this from the food pantry? How do you cook it? How do you freeze it? How do you prepare it? How do you know how to pump gas if no one has taught you? And I love that the Lighthouse Foundation gets to be that teaching element. We are able to teach those skills that they need to move towards self-sufficiency, or we're able to help them break that cycle of poverty that they may be in. Because of your donation, these things are possible. Because of your donation, lives are being changed. You are helping the community around you. You are providing a roof over a family's head. You are putting food on a family's table. You are providing the tools and resources needed to help someone towards self-sufficiency. So thank you for being that tool. Thank you for allowing God to use you and your donation in a mighty way tonight. Thank you so much. None of these success stories we have, none of the transition from this pandemic would have been possible without the continued financial support from our donors, businesses, churches, local organizations, families, private grants. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, from all of the staff members who you will get to see or meet here in just a moment, that we cannot thank you enough for the support that you provide to this organization. If you're wondering, how can you help? How can you give? How can you be a part of what the Lighthouse Foundation is doing? You can give and support us right now on the donate button on this show. You can always give on our website, on our donate tab at thelighthousepa.org. You can give by bidding that winning bid on the auction basket that you really want, or your significant other really wants. And those dollars are going towards the Lighthouse Foundation. You can give and support us when it comes time to the end of year giving. Keep us in mind. You can give whatever way is most comfortable to you, whatever is put on your heart and how that is put on your heart. You can give in many ways. Another way to give to the Lighthouse Foundation is donating of your time, your talents. There are many volunteer opportunities here at the Lighthouse Foundation. I just wanted to give a quick reminder in the middle of this program that you can again bid and buy raffle tickets during this entire event. I encourage you to refresh your page. You certainly wouldn't want to be outbid or miss out because we forgot to refresh the page. Have you had a chance to check out our baskets? Our ministry would not be possible without the love and support from our volunteers. I'm willing to bet that most of you watching tonight, in some way, shape, or form, you have been a Lighthouse volunteer. And I thank you so much for that. Let's hear from a current volunteer, Lisa Matthew, who tells us what volunteering means to her.
There are many reasons to get into volunteering, but there is only one true purpose. That is to serve God for His glory by loving others. Jesus modeled this for us perfectly during His time on earth. What a beautiful visual to see our Lord and King becoming a servant and meeting people right where they were in their lives and showing them God's love and grace. At the Lighthouse, we're reminded to be the hands and feet of Christ as we come to serve. We're able to do this at the food pantry by giving clients more than just food. We feed them spiritually. Most of the clients have a need just to be seen and know they matter. We love them by building relationships with them and allowing them to have a voice in their own needs, and we come alongside them and help as we can. We also provide prayer for those in need. We check in with them regularly, and they love to let us know how the prayer affects their lives. God's love is also served up to the transitional housing residents regularly, but especially during the training courses offered to them to help them become whole. During these courses, there are opportunities to share the message that they are loved by God and others more than they could ever know, that they truly matter to this world, and that they are worth every bit of time and effort that they put into themselves to change their lives. God gives each of us special gifts. Some are good listeners, some have physical strength, some are good organizers, and some may be good at prayer. Whatever your gift, remember that God loved you enough to bless you with it. Please consider using it while serving others. Search your heart. Is God calling you to make a difference? Maybe the Lighthouse would be the place to start. God bless you all.
I'm really excited to have part of this show be what does it look like to volunteer, especially at the food pantry during this crazy COVID time. So we get to take you on a tour through our food pantry with Leanne Hune, our ministry and volunteer coordinator here at the Lighthouse Foundation. I'm really excited. Let's see how this tour goes.
So this is where we keep any of our orders that come from Greater Pitt, like everything that we need for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
We get orders for 2 weeks at a time. We get it on the 2nd and the 4th Tuesday of every month. So we put all of our product back here.
Okay.
We store it. We keep it until the next order comes in. So when you come to volunteer, we need you to come right inside and sign in.
Okay.
Hi, Steve.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Again.
You always sign in here.
Okay.
You would sign your name and the time that you came in.
All right.
We always tell volunteers if you need a water, it's always in the cooler off to the left.
Okay.
And the bathrooms are right straight through here to the right.
Perfect.
This is going to be your contact person.
Hello. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm Joe Franciscus. Nice to meet you. Pantry director.
You?
So if you need anything, you come straight to him.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Joe.
So since the pandemic, we've had to pack pre-packed boxes for our clients of all the non-perishable items. That has to happen in the morning. So the whole volunteers that are here right now, that's what they're doing, are packing the non-perishable items.
Perfect. How many of these boxes do you guys pack on a day that
I think they try to have 100 each day.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a list here as to what they're packing, and I can show you where everything is on the shelves.
Okay.
This is mostly the protein.
Okay.
They did put the grape
right here because it goes with the peanut butter. And then we would have vegetables, then we have fruit, and then we have soup. So they're unpacking a bunch of produce that we've received from Greater Pitt, from another store, and then they'll package this into smaller bags, and then this afternoon we'll be able to put it right into the carts. Okay.
So, just to know, before the pandemic, people would walk through and get their own things. But now everything is getting prepackaged for them, and everybody gets the same list of items. And then do they even come in here at all, or do you just give it to them?
No, we guarded all of our volunteers here in the morning, our established volunteers. So we've kept outside volunteers from coming in for the most part. So they package all the non-perishable stuff. They leave at 12:30. Then we have a whole new crew that comes in, and they will pack all of the perishable items into their cart, and they will get them outside to be put in the car.
A lot of activity going on.
There is. There's a lot. And our trucks are due to come in. They'll come in about 10:30 or 11 today. And that's a whole other flurry of events that happens. We have 2 box trucks out. They will bring in pickups from retail stores in Cranberry, Butler, and Gibsonia.
Okay.
And then all of these volunteers will pause packing the boxes, and they will start stocking the shelves and putting the items away out of the trucks as well.
Nice.
Yeah. There's a constant flurry.
Sounds like it.
Some of the other things that they've done, if we go back to the kitchen. So because we get retail store pickups, Silvana, we have to get them and sort them. They come in unsorted. So the volunteers also will sort things. We, for example, got from, I believe, Target, Easter baskets. So we sorted those out. Those will be put in carts for kids. We do get dog food, cat food. We would offer that if we have it available. We happen to get a lot of toilet paper, so we try to give that out. And then they sort it out, the soups, the vegetables, the gluten-free. If we had someone with special needs, we would try to meet their dietary needs. Yeah. We have some patients that are on chemotherapy. We offer them protein drinks.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and you can see we get health and beauty as well.
Oh, yeah.
So probably today or tomorrow they would put 1 or 2 health and beauty items in their cart for them.
That's wonderful.
Hi, dear. Can I offer you a homemade mask? Do you need one? Okay, we have this pretty red one that ties around your head, and then there's this one that they come behind your ears. Behind the ears. There you go, dear. Stay safe. Okay.
Thank you for coming today, Silvana. I hope you enjoy volunteering here at the Lighthouse Foundation. If you should have any other questions or you have any idea that this maybe isn't where you need to be placed to volunteer here, please reach out to me. and I will see what I can do to accommodate your special gifts and talents.
Well, thank you so much. I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Last but not least, I'd like to mention and thank the most vital group of volunteers that we have here, and that's our board of directors. The Lighthouse Foundation would not be where it is today without the guidance and direction from this very unique and special board. Okay, everyone, this is last call for the silent auction bids and the raffle tickets to be purchased. So go scroll on down, check your bids, one last opportunity to not only get some really cool prizes or buy a chance to win an awesome suitcase full of gift cards and lottery tickets, but it's also another chance to support the Lighthouse and to give to this cause. So thank you so much for this evening. Thank you for being here for this show. I pray that you enjoyed it. The slideshow will continue to play, and then at 7:30, we will be posting on here and social media all of our winners. So congratulations ahead of time. And this is just a reminder that winners can pick up their prizes at the Lighthouse here at 116 Browns Hill Road, Valencia, PA 16059. And we're at Suite 400. So you just drive around the right-hand side of the building to come to the side facing Route 8. And you can pick those prizes up tomorrow, which is Saturday, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. or Monday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The winner will be posted here in just a few minutes. So thank you again. I'd like to take this opportunity one more time to thank our sponsors, to thank the committee, to thank the staff, to thank the volunteers, to thank everyone that made this possible, and to thank you for supporting us and giving. May God bless you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.